I'm Folakemi, and today we were talking about habits that kill creativity in your writing. These are common habits we are accustomed to, but they hold us back and prevent us from being super productive and creative. Maybe it's time to let go of those habits that are killing your creativity and replace them with new ones. So in no particular order, let's get into it. Stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. The first thing is taking too much time to think about an idea. This habit right here is a recipe for disaster. Let's take a look at it this way. You have a book you want to write, you already have an idea formed up in your head, but you're still trying to figure out the perfect opening line. You want your introductory sentences to be captivating, mesmerizing, and there you are stuck in this phase, thinking about how best you want to write them. The reality is that you will have made a lot more progress by starting out with the idea you have first and figuring out the rest along the way. You can always revisit your introduction or chapter 1 or chapter 2. You can always rewrite a chapter or change a character or readjust anything you want in your writing. Whether you like it or not, the only way you can make progress is by starting. Take a step. The big ideas you have, the storylines are all in your head, and it won't matter a bit if you don't take the first step to start writing. You know what? Let's flip the coin and be sincere to yourself right now. No one really knows what's going on in your head. And sometimes writers use this as a disguise to procrastinate writing. They take unnecessary time trying to think, conceptualize ideas, and it's not a good habit you want to continue with because it is also about timing. Writing is about timing. There's always a deadline ahead of you and you can't beat it if you continue with this habit. The second habit you need to stop is copying others and not doing what works for you. It's actually good to learn and study from great writers like Chinua Achebe, Chimamanda, and the rest. You can aspire to be like them. You can pick up 1 or 2 lessons from the writing journey, but know what works for you. You can't duplicate another person's journey. It is wise to listen and learn, but it's not all lessons you need to apply because some are not applicable to you. Forcing yourself to stick to a particular rule or style of writing just because you like it or because you were told to do it can stifle your creativity. If you feel like it's not working for you or you're not getting the result you want, then I think it's time to stop it. There is no one way to write a book or an article or a memoir as long as you're not plagiarizing, and that topic of plagiarism is something else because as a writer you need to know this. It is something you need to avoid like a plague. The third habit you need to stop is writing and analyzing your work at the same time. You can't do both and expect to go far in your writing because no matter how good you are as a writer, this habit needs to stop. It keeps you from taking steps forward. So it's just like you're taking 2 steps forward and you're taking 1 step backward. It's like you're building up and pulling apart at the same time, which is not good for your writing. You're writing 1 paragraph and you're reading through it to see if it makes sense before proceeding. That is not a wise move. That's you doing the writing too soon, and it will definitely slow down your writing pace. The next is taking on too much work, and that has to do with setting your goals right. If you're struggling with meeting up with your goals, you've put all the work and skills, but you're not meeting up, then you have to cut it down. Maybe it's time to take things in bit sizes. Don't overload yourself with too much work. The next is overloading your mind with information. This happens a lot to most writers. You want to equip yourself with adequate information, but you end up with too much information that makes you lose your direction. You don't know where to place words or what angle to start from. The ideas are just flowing in too much. You just don't know which one to pick. You may say that's a good thing, but that's just you heating up. Information is food to the brain, and just like you can overeat and become bloated, you can also overfeed yourself with information and get bloated with ideas. Overfeeding should stop, and that includes the amount of food you consume. Make sure you eat healthily. Well, that's just the tip I had to add there. Finally, like James Clear said, you don't just eliminate bad habits, you replace them. So this is me saying we won't just end this video today without giving you simple tips, or would I say simple habits that you can practice consistently to replace those old habits we talked about. So now let's look at the simple habits we can use to replace those old habits. Number one is write first and edit later. It's simple as that. You don't have to waste time trying to look for that perfect title or the introduction to your book before you start writing. And number two is know yourself and set realistic goals. If you can't write for 5 hours, take it down to 2 or probably 1. Just know what works for you. And number three is be open to ideas. But if you apply them and it doesn't work for you, then try something else. The fourth is embrace your uniqueness. Never compare yourself to others. Be comfortable with your voice and your writing style. That's what makes you you. All those bad habits I mentioned earlier can only be broken if you are willing to replace them and make it work. What we call habits are actually formed with consistent practices, both the good ones and the bad ones. So if you want to stick with good writing habits or improve your skills over time, then you have to keep practicing. So that's it, guys. So I want to know those habits you plan on kicking out this second half of the year. Like, let me know at the comment section those habits you want to let go of. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe and turn on your notifications to get more videos from us. See you next time. Bye.